As the United States prepares to begin high-stakes peace talks in Moscow, reports have emerged that yet another Russian oil tanker has come under attack in the Black Sea, heightening tensions in the already volatile region. On December 2nd, the Russian-flagged tanker Mid-Volga II reportedly came under assault approximately 80 miles off the coast of Turkey, according to Reuters, marking the latest in a series of maritime incidents in the area. The vessel, transporting sunflower oil from Russia to Georgia, had 13 crew members on board at the time of the attack, raising concerns about their safety amid the ongoing maritime escalation. Turkish authorities confirmed that the crew remained safe, and the tanker was able to continue its journey toward the port city of Sinop without requesting any emergency assistance. According to Turkish media outlet NTV, the attack on the vessel was allegedly carried out using a kamikaze-style drone while the tanker was in open waters, demonstrating the increasing use of unmanned systems in maritime conflict. Despite these reports, Ankara stated that messages were conveyed to the parties involved, including Ukraine, though Turkish officials did not provide further details on the nature or content of those communications. This incident represents the third attack on Russian-linked tankers near Turkish waters in just 1 week, indicating a worrying escalation of maritime hostilities in the region. On November 28, Ukrainian forces reportedly struck 2 Russian oil tankers, the Kairos and the Virat, while they were within Turkey's economic zone, prompting swift responses from local authorities. Turkey's Coast Guard acted quickly to rescue the crews from both vessels, demonstrating Ankara's ability to respond effectively to maritime emergencies in its territorial waters. The strike specifically targeted vessels identified as part of Moscow's so-called Shadow Fleet, a network of ships used to bypass sanctions and transport resources under covert arrangements, according to Euronews. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan described Ukraine's recent drone strikes on Russian-linked vessels as a worrying escalation, emphasizing his concern over rising instability in the Black Sea corridor. Ankara has stressed that ensuring navigation safety in the Black Sea is a top priority, warning that unchecked attacks could endanger civilian shipping and escalate the broader conflict in the region. It is seen that the war between Russia and Ukraine has reached a point where it clearly threatens navigational safety in the Black Sea. Friday's targeting of commercial ships in our exclusive economic zone signals a worrying escalation. We cannot condone these attacks, which threaten navigational, life and environmental safety, particularly in our own exclusive zone. We are issuing the necessary warnings to all parties regarding such situations. It is important to note that Turkey, while a NATO member, maintains close diplomatic and economic ties with both Kiev and Moscow, balancing complex relationships amid growing regional tensions. Although Ankara has supplied Ukraine with weapons and military assistance, it has consistently refused to join Western sanctions against Russia, seeking to preserve its own strategic and economic interests. The tanker attacks coincided with Turkey's renewed offer to host peace talks in Istanbul, highlighting Ankara's attempt to mediate between the conflicting parties while the Black Sea crisis unfolds. The timing of the latest attack is notable, occurring just as a U.S. delegation arrived in Moscow to initiate a fresh round of peace talks aimed at negotiating an end to hostilities. The delegation, led by Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, is expected to discuss a revised ceasefire framework, including potential terms for new arrangements and safe passage protocols. Observers note the timing raises questions, as Kiev appears to be intensifying pressure on Russian maritime logistics even as high-level negotiations are restarting, adding complexity to the diplomatic process. Washington is reportedly seeking a pathway to negotiate end-stage terms for the Russia-Ukraine war, aiming to secure both strategic concessions and humanitarian assurances before a broader agreement is reached. At the same time, Moscow has accused Ukraine of deliberately destabilizing the Black Sea region to gain diplomatic leverage, framing the attacks as part of a coordinated effort to influence negotiations. Ukraine has yet to comment directly on the Mid-Volga II incident, although it has acknowledged targeting vessels identified as violating sanctions, signaling continued efforts to disrupt Moscow's economic operations.